Well, hello. It is time to breathe again on the Breath of Fresh Air webcast. So, you see me, Charles. Patrick, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm not going to go into my whole spiel, but I feel fantastic as always.
All right. That's what I like to hear there. Well, all right. Well, with that, good to hear that you're doing all right. I'm doing pretty good myself. And as you can tell from my attire, we got a big game coming up. Well, there's a good amount of games coming up for college football this week, but y'all know where my attention is going to be ultimately that Red River Shootout. Yes, people, I know that it is called the Red River Showdown, but I will always call it the shootout. So deal with it. Um other than that
Feeling
though, other than that though, Patrick, before we get to the preview of this week's games, let's look back at last week. I know you have a lot to be happy about. Well, what other games caught your attention as well?
dude, so many games in college caught my and look, I'm going to cut it quick because I'm going to tell you there are so many games that caught my eye on in college. It is actually quite ridiculous. So, let me start with Hawaii beating Fresno State, bro. I was I caught a little bit of the game, and I was impressed with how well Hawaii moved the ball. They didn't score on every possession, but man, they moved the ball well. I mean, in their defense, I mean, it was a close game. I think the game was like 27-24, I think. But Hawaii moved the ball well, and they played great defense, especially against a Fresno State team that is in its own right. And I know it's lower. I know they're ranked 18th, but in their own right, they do have a great um, offense.
Oh
So,
my goodness. Hey,
oh,
Patrick,
oh,
didn't I
oh
tell you?
my
I told you he
lord!
would show up. I told you Jonathan would show up this week. I already knew he was
Well,
going
you
to
knew he
show
was
up.
going to show up because of the big game.
Of course. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But
Let me finish my
yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
Uh, Arizona State, bro, beating UCLA. That was not just a excuse me. That was not just a game that Arizona State was planning on winning. They planned on making a statement, and they did. They were phenomenal on both sides of the ball. Their special teams were all over the place. They came out to play. They wanted to make a statement to UCLA, and they did. It was a good game, dude. I watched a few snaps of that one too, man. Arizona State was ready for that game. Great defensive plan against UCLA. Auburn LSU, dude. I mean, I had Auburn winning this game, not by a landslide by no means, but you got to give them credit, man. First time they've won in Death Valley since 1999, dude. So I had to mention this game. Um, what was the other? See, he got me. He got me reading the comments.
Yeah, yeah. Stay focused, Patrick. Stay
Hey,
focused.
hey, hate all you want. 1-0, bro. That's all I got to say. Um, what was the other game? Florida and Kentucky, man. Kentucky came out with a great offensive plan on that one. They played Florida well, and they was able to stop Florida's run game. Well, for the most part, I think Florida still ended up with over 300 rushing yards, but they were able to put a hold on Florida. So that was a good game. Stanford beating Oregon, bro. Hey, I think you even almost called that one. I think you said Stanford will probably beat them. Um, I can tell you right now, man, being ranked number 3 is not is not where you want to be, dude.
It's
I'm
not.
telling you
Yeah.
because I know we're fixing to go over it, but I got Penn State winning next week. And who do they
Oh,
play?
at Iowa. Yeah.
Who do they play? Who do
Yep.
they play?
Number three,
Iowa.
Iowa.
And
Yeah.
guess what their rank is?
They are three.
They are
Yes.
3, and I got Penn State beating them. So 3 is not where you want to be. What was the other one? Alabama and Mississippi, Georgia and Arkansas. I can wrap these two games up in a nutshell together. Georgia and Alabama are just now getting to express their dominance. I thought these were going to be closer games, but obviously Georgia and Alabama are in two totally leagues of their own. And truthfully, I mean, call me crazy when I say this, and maybe a little biased. I don't know yet. We'll find out next week. But I really truly feel it's Georgia and Alabama and the rest of football. Honestly, I mean, at this point. So, and I think I got one more game. Cincinnati and Notre Dame, and I called that one. So there's my rundown for this week.
Yeah. Those games. So I'll start with Georgia and Alabama. Here's the thing. I was talking to Bear. Shout out to you, Bear. I was talking to him about the game plans going against Alabama and Georgia. Here's the deal. Most of these teams now, when they go and recruit, they're trying to get speed because, and I mean, speed, we know speed has always been a part of the game, of course, but particularly now where you have a lot of teams trying to spread you out 4 or 5 wide receivers. Now, the need to get more defensive backs on the field for a defense has taken a hold on the rest of the levels, whether you're talking about the defensive line and the linebackers. But if you are playing Alabama and Georgia, I'll be damned. And I told Bear this, I'll be damned if I play a 3-man line. I'll be damned. That is not happening. I am not getting ran over up and down the field against these big physical offensive lines. No, I need some girth. I gotta get some big dudes in the middle of that line because Alabama and Georgia, they are going to run the football. And yes, the passing offenses have evolved, but when worse comes to worse, both of those teams can still run the football really, really well. And if you're going to play a 3-man line, they're just going to run that all day long. Like that, they're licking their chop. They're salivating going into the game if they're seeing that. So that's what I was telling Bear, man. I said, there's no way if I'm playing those teams, there's no way I'm not playing a 3-man line against those teams. But Arkansas and Ole Miss did, and they got ran over. I mean, it was bad. Georgia dominated both sides of the line of scrimmage. That is physical, and they got some big boys on that defensive line too, man. That wasn't it? Is it Davis? Is his last name? This 360-pounder dude that they got in the middle. Georgia got some big dudes.
360 pounds.
Yes,
we had him running a 4.5.
That's insane.
I mean, when he chased down that running back of Arkansas, who is fast as shit. Excuse my language.
Stuff, Patrick.
Him down.
Fast as stuff.
Caught him. What's that?
Fast as stuff, Patrick.
Fast as hell. Dude, he chased him down after he knocked off a blocker, dude. He knocked it and then got him. I was like, that's insane. And Georgia was getting pressure throughout the entire game with 3 people. Not only that, they hung their hat on defense. I mean, both Alabama and Georgia both did, don't get me wrong. But, man, when you only allow 1 all-purpose yard in the first half against an Arkansas team that can run the ball like that, forget it, dude.
And Arkansas just looked overmatched. It looked like what you saw, and I think you could say the same thing about the game with Ole Miss and Alabama as well. Both of those teams just looked overwhelmed by the environment. It really did. Arkansas especially looked overwhelmed, and I think in the Ole Miss Alabama game, Lane Kiffin let the moment get the best of him. He was doing all these crazy 4th down gambles. Like I'm cool with the first one. You're deep in Alabama territory, and you're trying to get a touchdown. Huh?
I'm cool with the second one.
Yeah. I was gonna get there, and so yeah, but I agree with you. The second one, I was good with that one too. That third one where you're at your own 31, you can't do that, man. Punt the ball, swallow your pride there, and rely on your defense. I just think Lane Kiffin, he let the moment get the best of them, man. And it came back. It cost him and it cost his team. And that game was over at halftime. Over at halftime. And then yeah, I'm with you. Alabama and Georgia right now, they look better than everybody by a nice wide margin.
Landslide.
Um
It's insane how well those two teams look. And I gotta give props out to Alabama and their defense, man. That defense has not looked that exceptional in the first 4 weeks, but man, that defense came ready to play. After those first two fourth downs that Ole Miss got, it was a wrap after that, bro. They were faster. They were like, oh no, that's not happening anymore. I'm not getting yelled at practice. I'm hitting somebody hard now. That's what I was saying. Nick Saban is not yelling at me.
and and then for a few of the other games as well. So you had you mentioned Auburn and LSU. Um Look, I have to give Bo Nix credit. I mean, he came in there and he made some amazing plays in that game. Plays that I honestly did not think he was capable of making. But he made, but he made some scrambles there against LSU to win that game down there in Baton Rouge. And if LSU, well, the one thing that's troubling to me about LSU is they don't try to run the football. When have you ever seen an LSU team not even try to run the football? There's a lot of issues going on in Baton Rouge, man. It's bad.
Especially when they try to make bids as running back university.
Yeah, not so much.
Mm. Georgia just now
Cincinnati.
took that one without even arguing with them. So.
Cincinnati and Notre Dame. Look, hey, Cincinnati. Look at the looks from the looks of things. They have a nice path. Beating Notre Dame in South Bend, they have a nice path to go undefeated. And if they finish off undefeated, this is a very good chance. If there is going to be a group of five team that can break through and get into the playoff, this might be the year because I
Number
mean,
3
besides
can't win.
yeah, well, besides, I mean, because like I said, Alabama and Georgia look like they're better than the rest by a nice long margin. Everybody else, ugh, looking a little shaky. So we'll see. I mean, like you said, we'll get to the Penn State Iowa game here when we do the preview, but things look pretty good for Cincinnati. And then yeah, the Kentucky.
What are they ranked right now?
I think they're six. I could
6.
be wrong on that, but I think they're six because they were not. No, they were seven last week, right?
7.
Yes. So I think it's Alabama, Georgia, Iowa, Penn State, and I think I I want to say Oklahoma is fifth.
I can pull it up.
All right. I think Oklahoma's either fifth or sixth, but they're gonna drop. It's okay. So there goes Cincinnati's help right there. Next week we'll get to it, but
Oh no, Cincinnati's 5th.
okay. So
So
Cincinnati's
you got
fifth.
Alabama,
Oklahoma's
Georgia,
sixth.
Iowa, Penn State, Cincinnati, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, and BYU.
Okay, it's not gonna matter about Oklahoma here in a minute, but
No,
but
you talking about Texas North.
Texas North, that's right. You know the crazy thing about that though, Patrick. I'll wait because I was going to bring up something about our quarterback Casey Thompson, but one more game, Kentucky beating Florida. I was not expecting that. I knew it would be tough. Kentucky always gives Florida a hard time, especially up there in Lexington. But hey, this Kentucky team, very impressive, pretty physical on both sides of those lines of scrimmage. You know, I'm looking forward to it when they do come down between the hedges in a few weeks as well. So we'll see what happens with
Oh
Kentucky.
God.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's not talk about that right now.
All right. Sorry.
I don't need the stress in my life. Okay.
All right, my bad. All right, we'll wait till we get to that. Till we get to that bridge. Well, Patrick. So for the previews, man, what you got there? I mean, you brought up Penn State and Iowa. I mean, that's the best ranked matchup we have. What else?
Well, so Penn State and Iowa, I do have Penn State beating Iowa. I think Penn State is a better team, which is going to make room for Cincinnati to be top four and put their bid in.
It's gonna be
They
tough in Iowa City, man. I mean, Iowa's tough to beat at home too. So
I know, I
yeah.
know. But I think Penn State is a strong team. Now, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't I wouldn't be surprised if Iowa wins that game. I mean, it's just one of those games. I mean, it goes either way, but I am picking Penn State to win that game. Stanford, Arizona State. I would have never said this, 6 weeks ago, but the way Stanford is playing, the way Arizona State's playing, it has a chance to be a good game. It really does, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to that game. Hopefully, it's not a blowout, and one of those teams just blows the other one out, which I don't know who it would be yet, but it looks like a good game. I am probably leaning on Arizona State to win that game, but I look forward to that one.
Oh, Patrick,
Obviously,
real quick about that Oregon Stanford game going back to last week. The one thing that is kind of funny to me, the reason why I said it was just going to be tough is because Stanford Stadium is weird to me because it's not like it's the loudest place, and it is not like a whole bunch of people are in the stadium just going crazy. But the grass looks a little bit thicker than normal, so it can slow you down.
and they trip over those sticks and
Yeah.
the grass. Yeah, and the only people that really know how to run on that grass is Stanford.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stanford's cheating.
You know they have their calculated ways going about that too. If we bring this grass up just another centimeter, that could
Just another centimeter, make people,
yeah.
everybody think that they're running. Keep everybody's center of gravity down lower, and we'll raise the grass up just a centimeter. Watch everybody trip and fall, and we'll win.
Yeah.
And,
but
and it's not against the rules.
but that game is in Arizona State's home
Yes,
stadium.
it
So
is in Arizona State. One of the bigger reasons why I am leaning towards Arizona for that win. I do think Stanford is a great team, and like I said, I wouldn't be talking about them if it wasn't for the last 2 weeks and how well they played. But coming in or letting Oregon come in and beating Oregon, that was huge. I honestly think the 3 ranked was a little bit more uh, than Oregon could handle, obviously, because for whatever reason, man, sometimes those top 5 teams, man, they think they're untouchable. And 3 out of 5 weeks, we saw the third ranked team, and we're probably going to see a fourth one come next week. Uh, your big game, Texas and Oklahoma. Uh, I'm gonna have to say Oklahoma's probably gonna win. My personal opinion. Now, Texas, they have played much better football this year than I was ever even anticipating. They seemed more sound. They seemed more disciplined, and it looks like Steve's got them under control over there. So I'm expecting big things from this school come next year. But I think Oklahoma is. I do have Oklahoma winning this one. Um, Sorry, Charles.
You're okay.
Uh, what's another one? Arkansas and Mississippi. Ole Miss. This one has the makings of a really great game, and hopefully Arkansas is just not like, oh, I can't believe we lost with Georgia. Man, Arkansas will probably play with a chip on their shoulder, and so will Ole Miss. Both of them lost last week, so I
Bad,
don't know. I
bad,
don't know. And one of them's got to,
bad.
yeah, very bad. So one of them is going to exert some dominance this coming week. Georgia Auburn is always a good game.
Deep South Soldiers rivalry, man.
Yep. I got Ole Miss beating Arkansas. I do got Georgia beating Auburn. And then what's another good one? The Penn State Iowa. I told you I got Penn State winning that one. And then yeah, that'd be it.
All right. Well, hey, you know what I'm beginning with this Red River shootout. I don't know. We'll see if Jonathan is going to be back on here to make a comment, but I definitely have Texas winning this game. Oklahoma has not been looking good at all. And I think now they're going against the team that can do what can hurt Oklahoma, and that's running the football. They really have not seen a running attack like what we are bringing to the table. And I think
I
we
hope you're
can.
right.
And I think,
Johnson said he hate my Bulldogs.
yeah, yep, he sure did. And
I take
so,
that back. I want
uh,
to take it back.
uh,
I
uh,
don't
uh,
have Oklahoma winning this game. I
uh,
want Texas to win.
I got you. Yeah. I knew you would come by. And so and the thing is, man, look, and honestly, Patrick, I think we're winning by 10 or 14 points. I think we're putting it,
Woo!
yeah, I think we are putting it in
Woo!
Oklahoma. Absolutely. We gonna whoop that ass on
Booty.
Saturday. But
Booty.
we're booming these Sooners. Yes. They're getting whooped. It is over, and we're about to establish some things in this rivalry. Now, look, based on
That's
your
Texas
rule,
on Texas hate. That's a Texas on Texas hate crime. You know that, right?
yeah, yes, I understand. But you know, and look, and since I can't use past history anywhere past 2005, I have to go with the recent history. Oklahoma has owned this series in the last few years. Yeah, going back to 2005, I mean, I think they do have. I mean, I'm not exact on this, but I think they do have double digit victories, like maybe 12 out of the last like 17 games they've won against us. So, I mean, they have owned it. But if we're historically speaking, and we're still winning that by a wide margin. But again, for per your rules, I can't
My
use it.
rules,
Yeah,
2005 or
I
later.
can't. Yep, can't use it. But yeah, I think that running game is coming for Oklahoma. They haven't seen a running attack like this, and Casey Thompson being the nearest difference. Ironically, we always talk about how many players Oklahoma has from the state of Texas. Believe it or not, Casey Thompson grew up in Oklahoma City, so we can
Mm,
say he saw the light and came
mm,
to the state.
mm. He's
And
not on the dark
so,
side.
yeah. So yeah, I got Texas winning by, like I said, a good margin, 10 to 14 points. I'll go something like 37-23 or 37-27. Yeah, I think we're gonna put it on them.
Hey, I like the confidence, man. Remember that year I picked Texas to beat Oklahoma, and you're like, no, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, they're beating them. Watch. And Texas came in and put
Smashed
out
them.
that fire.
Absolutely.
I really truly hope. I hope you're right. I really do. I hope that Texas comes in and puts it on them because both of these teams, coming into the SEC, I hope that they are battling because they're going to need it coming in. So I hope that this is their start of them saying, we're going to battle. I mean, we're going to take it to the limit because we're going to need to going into this SEC. We're going to need it, and that, I mean, let's be honest. SEC is the best conference in all of college football, so it's time to start bringing it. So I hope it's a hell of a game. I hope it's a great game.
And the other games, Penn State and Iowa, that honestly they can meet twice. They could meet in the Big Ten championship game as well. So it could be a Big Ten championship preview. Yes, I'm sure Ohio State will have something to say about that. And Patrick, dare I say it? Michigan, maybe they have something to say about it. Maybe.
Hey, like 170th starting the season, and they're none.
So we'll see. And I think Michigan State is sneaky pretty good in
You
there
know,
too.
you know
So
what's sad about Michigan and Michigan State?
what's that?
For 5 years, and you know it, for 5 years, I have been going, this is going to be Michigan's year. The one time I said, I'm done with them. They do this.
They're
F and
they're
Duke is what they
they're
are.
your they're your football version of
A
Duke.
Duke.
And I'm gonna move on because I know that's a rant. So
Yeah, I'm about to get on it.
no, but yeah, Georgia Auburn. That could be a good game. I got Georgia winning that game pretty solidly, although it is in Jordan Hare. That will be a tough one, at least for the first half. But I think Georgia starts to
I think
wear them
Georgia's
down
way
after
too
a
deep,
while.
man.
Yeah, and you got Arkansas at Ole Miss. That'll be an interesting one to see which one can kind of lick those wounds from the whoopings they took. Um, I like Arkansas in that game, man. I mean, I think Arkansas, it'll be close either way. I do think it'll
I
be
like Arkansas. I want Arkansas to win, but I think Lane Kiffin is far more. I think Lane Kiffin can take his bumps and bruises and move on a lot faster.
I got you.
And
And
and history has shown Tennessee. Nobody gets any more bumps and bruises. And then he goes to USC. That man has been licking wounds for his entire career, so he's good.
so it's just the experience of just getting
Yeah,
whooped so much.
I
Gotcha.
got it. Coaching experience is the reason why I'm going with Ole Miss.
Alright, and you have Kentucky. All right. So Kentucky has LSU coming in. It's going to be interesting. The reason why I'm picking this game is because I want to see how Kentucky handles success. This is the first time they beat Florida at home since the 80s, I believe.
Something like that.
So yeah, now they beat Florida. They're still undefeated. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle this success with LSU coming in. So yeah, those are the games I'm looking forward to. But of course, you know where my attention is going to be at 11 o'clock Central, noon Eastern on this Red River Shootout.
Yep.
So, well, all right, Patrick. Let's move on to the NFL real quick. What games caught your eye there?
Oh, you know what? This was this week. Man, all right. I'm going to start off with this. This will be the last week I talk about the Falcons because they capital S, capital U, capital C, capital K suck. That is the worst effing team I have seen since the 90s.
But it was a close game, Patrick.
They're horrible.
Team Generic just came back on them.
Charles, let's be completely honest about last week.
They were up 30-22, Patrick.
Who?
Atlanta was. Yes, they were.
Exactly the reason why I say they suck.
Well, look, it's not like they got blowed out.
Last week. I don't mark my words. I will not mention this day. You will have to mention this team for the rest of the year before I talk about them. Win or lose, they suck. If you are 30-22 and you lose 34-30, that's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic.
Now,
And they
Patrick,
should have lost to New York last week.
Now, Patrick, you and I both know there have been way bigger leads blown than this one. So
Well, absolutely. And look, it haunts me every day. 28-3. Everybody's oh well, sounds like that 28-3. No, it's not 28-3. It was 22-30. I mean, there's a little bit of a difference, but I know where you're going with it. But
I mean, they blew a lot of leads last year too. So
and they're blowing them all. Well, here we are. Repeat of history.
What other games caught your eye, Patrick?
Buffalo whipping the crap out of Houston. That was I lost interest in that game. I flipped over and was like, I lost interest the moment I flipped it over, and it was like 21-0, I think, or 24-0, something like that. I was like, well, Houston lost.
Yeah, it ended up being 40-0, man. So
yeah, it was a bad. Dallas beating Carolina. That was it. That was a good. Hey, look, I'm still not sold
Dallas
on
credit. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm not sold on the team yet, but man, they made a statement this week or last week. They're playing good. They're what, 3-1?
Yeah.
Leading their division.
Yeah.
Good on them, man. So we'll see if that holds. New York Giants finally getting a win. I liked that.
especially
especially against
being with
that
the
team.
Saints for you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, if Atlanta ain't winning, neither should the Saints.
All right, got you.
Um, and then Baltimore putting it on Denver, and Tampa Bay winning that game and how they won it against New England.
Yeah, I look New England. This game was close, and I figured it would be. I figured Belichick would have something for Brady, man. And a lot of
Like,
people were talking about Tampa Bay was going to blow them out. I just didn't see it, man. I was like, there's no way Belichick is going to have that team so ready and prepared for that. And I mean, here's the thing, Patrick. Who the hell knows Tom Brady better than Bill Belichick? Like,
Giselle.
why did that get forgotten by everybody?
I think it gets lost in the shuffle. I'd agree with that.
I don't understand. Who knows him better? Like, of course he was going to have a good game plan for that. Of
Yeah,
course.
absolutely.
So
And I don't think Tom Brady wins. Honestly, I don't think Tom Brady should have won that, or Tampa Bay should have won that game. I think
yeah, they made plays.
they made the right plays, and then that 4th and 3 where they ended up kicking the field goal, and I think they missed it. I would have went for it. I think that was really the only problem I think I would have went for it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm cool with the play call. I mean, if you wanted to try to go for it, I mean, it's in the rain. It was raining at the time.
Mhm.
56 yards. It is a deep field goal there, but I mean, he figured, hey, we'll go ahead. We'll try to get the points here. Yes, Brady would have got the ball back with about 50 seconds, I think, around
50,
50, 55 seconds, and I think they
50.
had one or two timeouts too. So, hey, defense would have had two timeouts. So I guess the defense would have had to just step up. But hey, I wasn't surprised at how close it was.
No, I was
Um,
that was a good game. It was really close. I expected it to be that close. I actually thought I actually had Tampa Bay winning 20-17, and that was just talking with my friends and playing around with scores. Ended up being 19-17. But I mean, yeah, Bill Belichick was going to have a plan for Brady, and Brady didn't throw. He wasn't throwing. They had to run all over New England to beat them. And Mac Jones, man, hey, very Tom Brady-esque in that game. He took care of the ball. He made the plays, and that's all he's asked to do. So,
yeah. So I mean, yeah. That game stuck out, and then I got to give the Arizona Cardinals credit. They went into Los Angeles and blew the Rams out. Blew them
yeah,
out.
I was going to
Um,
mention that, but
and
you get so.
and then you had I mean, Seattle and San Francisco. Seattle won that game. I feel like 49ers they played well, but they just couldn't finish drives. And you can't let Seattle and Russell Wilson hang in there. They will start to get at you. Trey Lance came in because I guess Garoppolo got hurt. We'll see his status later on for this week. And then you mentioned the other ones. The Giants and Saints was interesting. The what was it? Cincinnati is 3-1. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then there was one more. Oh, Monday night's game. The Chargers, man. And they beat the Raiders 28-14. Look pretty good doing it. So they're sitting in first place in the AFC West. So those are the games that stuck out to me. What are you looking forward to this week?
I think that Green Bay Cincinnati game is going to be good. They are going into Cincinnati, and it's going to be nice to see Joe Burrow go against Aaron Rodgers. Because that I think it's a really good matchup, and both of those teams match up really well to each other. I think Green Bay does come out on top, but I think it's going to be a really interesting game. Miami and Tampa.
Tampa Bay.
I think that will be a pretty interesting game. And then New York and Dallas. Like to see that. I think Giants are starting to figure something out. They looked a lot better last week, and I think they're going to build on that. not too far behind. I mean, we're only through the first quarter of the season, so they definitely still can make, they can make some plays, get some wins under their or get some marks in their win column, and they could still make some noise. But they are going against a heck of a Dallas defense, so I think it's
They're
gonna be
getting a lot of turnovers. That's the
yeah,
thing
they
with
are.
Dallas right now. They are turning the over, and Daniel Jones, we know he has been known to have some turnovers. So he's definitely going to have to take care of the ball. But I do like that matchup because I think the Giants do match up well. It's a division rival, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting for one for me too. Um, I definitely give the Giants a chance. I think Dallas will win though. But wouldn't surprise me if the Giants did come down here and win.
Yeah. And then I got one more: Buffalo and Kansas City. I like to
And they
see
nighter.
Kansas City starting to. They need to fix some stuff if they're wanting to make any kind of deep run, because there's some teams out there that's got their number, and if they're wanting to do anything, this is the week to start looking at turning it around and getting a huge win against Buffalo at home. If they don't do that, I mean, we're I'm not going to say I'm going to start looking nervous for Kansas City, but I will start saying that there's going to have to be some serious conversation.
Look, they have issues, Patrick, and that's the thing. You The defense is very leaky, and they can't run the ball consistently. Even for Patrick Mahomes, that is a lot to ask for him to continue to carry this load all the time. And I think people want to act like, oh, well, it's Kansas City, it's Patrick Mahomes. Ah, they'll be okay, they'll get it fixed. They might not. And the way that division is looking, that's not going to be easy. and
Oh,
so and that's what I was saying at the beginning, like when you had said, oh man, it's like Kansas City's the bully and they're taking everyone's lunch money. I was like, I don't know, like I'm comfortable
you're
saying
right.
Kansas City will win the division. And so I'm not saying that they wouldn't win the division, but yeah, it's going to be a little bit more of a
It's still,
battle.
yeah, it's a lot
Yeah.
tougher than I was expecting it for them. And watching what they have done, crazy enough, I thought they were going to be better than what they're proving, because I honestly think by the end of next week they're 2-3.
Yeah,
I
I
think
can see
Buffalo.
Buffalo winning that.
I think Buffalo comes in and wins. And you know how you feel against Texas and Oklahoma. I got Buffalo winning by like 14-20. I just think that defense is freaking horrible, man. You're talking about leaks, man. That's not leaks. That's floods. That is one of the only defense that has more holes in it is Atlanta.
um Yeah. Another game that I am looking forward to is because you said the rest of them. The Browns and Chargers. That's
Yeah,
gonna be a pretty
that
good
one does
game.
pan out to be a good one too.
Yeah, I mean both teams 3-1. Browns are coming out there to LA. It will probably be a de facto Browns home game because the Chargers have no fans in Los Angeles.
By
So,
default, this is a
dude,
home game.
Patrick, did you see the Monday night game? Dude, that it had to be 75% Raider fans in there. Had to be.
Had to be. And that's going with, well, let's be honest. Las Vegas Raiders fans always travel well anyway. You know how that is. But yeah, I would probably I would go 90% Raiders fans, and even then, the 10% of the Charger fans that were there were embarrassed to be there. And I'm like, I don't even know why. Y'all are literally 3-1. Y'all are freaking good. And what's the quarterback's name? Herbert.
Yeah, Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. He's on fire, man. He can play.
And they're in the NFC West, it just seems like it's just going to be a battle every week in there. The Rams play the Seahawks on Thursday night, and the 49ers go to Arizona. So those games, I'm pretty interested in seeing too, of course. So that's my division, so of course.
Yeah.
Well, Patrick, all right. Well, let's get to the Major League Baseball preview, the playoff preview. So Tonight, you have the New York Yankees playing the Boston Red Sox right now. That is in the top of the fifth, and the Red Sox are winning 3-0 right now. We'll see how that turns out. Of course, we'll continue to monitor it. But the winner of this game will face the Tampa Bay Rays in the divisional series. And then on Wednesday, you have the St. Louis Cardinals, who had a 17-game winning streak in the month of September. That's ridiculous. And they're facing the LA Dodgers team that won 106 games. And they have to play in this wild card play-in bull crap. It is crazy how that happens. But give a lot of credit to the San Francisco Giants. No one thought they would be that good this year. The winner of that Cardinals Dodgers game will face the Giants in the divisional round. So, with all that said, Patrick, how do you see these series turning out? Started in the National League, since the defending champion was the Dodgers from last year. And we got to be pretty quick because we got to get to the other topic that we have.
Yeah. So I'm going to start off with the two games. I mean, Boston and New York. All right, look. To make everything fair, I hate this play-in game. This is the worst idea in all of Major League Baseball. I think it's horrible. I wish they would do away with it or make it a 3-game series, because teams like the Cardinals and the Dodgers do not deserve one chance to make it to a wild card or make it past the wild card round. I think that they should get an opportunity to display
a 3-game set.
3-game set. It has to be a 3-game set, especially when you're playing a team like the Cardinals, who are on, like you said, on a 17-game win streak, and then you got the Dodgers, who lost their division by what, 2 games?
1 game.
1 game. Okay, so it ended up being 1 game. So you're looking at a 106 win Dodger team that lost their division to a 107 win Giants team. That's insane. And both of those, and I'm not taking anything away from the Cardinals. The Cardinals were playing phenomenal baseball, especially in the month of September. If you're winning 17 games in a row, that's insane, especially when you only play like 20 games. Just saying, maybe 21. So I do not like this setup. I don't like it. I wish they would I wish they would make it to a 3-game series or add 2 more teams and something. This has got to go. But in the National League, you got the Atlanta Braves versus the Milwaukee Brewers, and then the Giants. Whoever wins this game wins the game against the Cardinals and Dodgers. I mean, I personally hope that this is a Atlanta Braves San Francisco match. I want the Braves to win, but I want them to play the best, dude. And I'm hoping it's a Braves Giants. But all 5 of those teams, counting the Cardinals, are really good. Are we picking right now? Okay. Yes. So
that's how we do it, Patrick. You know it.
I'm making sure that we were picking. Okay. Yeah. So I got the Braves winning in 4 games. Yeah, I got the Braves winning in 4 games. And then I got the Giants winning in 6.
Okay. These wild cards.
Do I need to pick the wild card too?
Yeah. Who are the Giants?
I got the Dodgers winning.
Patrick, you know I want to pick the Cardinals for this because you know how I feel about the Cardinals.
But 106
they get in the playoffs, they are dangerous. They just one of those teams that are always scrappy. I'm with you. I'm going to take the Dodgers too because Max Scherzer, man.
That pitching.
Yeah, Scherzer, I think that dude is just a bulldog out there. Now the Cardinals are sending Adam Wainwright. That's another bulldog in his own right. So it's going to be, I think that's going to be a low scoring game, Patrick. I'm thinking like 3-2.
I got Dodgers 2-1.
Do you?
I got Dodgers 2-1, bro. That's it.
I'm going Dodgers. I'm going to say 4-3. But if it is 2-1, I would not be surprised if it was. But yeah, man, that one was tough for me because the Cardinals are so dangerous right now, and they always are when they get in there. With that series, so that the winner plays the Giants. I am with you on the Giants. The Braves, I hope the Braves can win, but I'm gonna pick the Brewers because of their pitching. I think it goes 5 games though. This is where Atlanta will miss Ronald Acuna. Yeah, I think they'll miss Acuna and they'll miss Marcel Osuna in that lineup.
Yeah.
The guys who have been in there have been playing their asses off. Look, Freddie Freeman, if he wins MVP again, it wouldn't surprise me if he did. I mean, Freddie Freeman's been a beast. But yeah, I like the Brewers starting rotation, and I think that will give them the nod there. So I have a Brewers Giants NLCS, and I think the Giants will be in the World Series as well.
I got the Giants as well.
All right. Then let's get to the American League, and then we'll pick the World Series after we got the American League picks.
Okay. Well, I know the game has already started, and it kind of looks like, hindsight, whatever. But I even had the Boston Red Sox beating the Yankees. Boston is just a better team. They were top to bottom a better team than the Yankees. The Yankees, the only thing they're bringing out here is a bunch of big bats and a lot of strikeouts. That's it. So Boston, to me, got the nod in almost every aspect except for strikeouts. So if that's the case, I got Boston. Honestly, 3-0 is not a surprise to me, especially in the 5th inning. I would have had this game 6-0. Truthfully, I just that's just how much confidence I have in Boston against this Yankee team who has no pitching, from starters to, if you want to consider them, middle relief at this point, and even closers. No pitching whatsoever. I don't like anybody on that mound that the Yankees put out there, and
Not even Garrett Cole.
not in any series. No.
All right, I got you. I mean,
He's a great pitcher. I just don't like him in this situation.
In this situation, got you.
If you're looking at it from all aspects of the game, even if he wins tonight, he's not starting game 1. So that's a loss for the Yankees in game 1 against the Rays. So I don't like the Yankees. I like Derek Cole. I wish he was on another team. But in this particular situation, in this team, I don't like him. Because Boston's going to win regardless of who they throw out there, because
they started Nathan Eovaldi, I think.
Did they?
Yeah.
Which is a downgrade from David Cole. So, you're hoping that he gets that win so that you can throw David Cole out there in game 1 against the Rays. That's what you're hoping.
Sale.
Or yeah.
Chris Sale.
Yeah. So to me, Boston is just a better team from top to bottom, every aspect of it. Regardless of that situation, whoever comes in and plays the Rays, I got the Rays winning. And then
Astros and White Sox. Yeah.
I want to take the White Sox. I really, truly do. But I think Houston's probably going to win. So I would have Rays and Astros in the championship series, and I got the Rays beating the Astros.
Patrick, I agree. I don't even have to say anything else. Because I'm with you, man. The Rays, you know how I feel about the Rays too. I feel about them just like I do against the Cardinals. It's just the National League just has it's so loaded with just the Dodgers and Giants alone in there. It's going to be tough for St. Louis to navigate all that. Even if they did end up playing the Brewers or the Braves, it's just really tough. Tampa Bay, man.
We got Tampa.
Yeah, man. City of Champions, right? Goodness.
Right
now. But I mean, they got everything. They have pitching, they have hitting. They're a complete team, just complete, and they just grind out wins, man. I don't see anybody beating Tampa Bay in a series, so I'm with you there.
Let me pick my. I got
Tampa, go ahead. Pick your World Series
round. I got Chicago in 5, or I got Houston in 5 on theirs, and then I got Tampa Bay winning against Houston in 6, and then I got the Giants winning against the Braves in 5. And then I actually have a San Francisco Giants World Series.
All right, so if they play the Braves, I will go 7. So you got the Giants winning 4-1 over the Braves in the NLCS. Got you. Okay. yeah. Uh,
That hurts my
so
feelings.
I'll do these real quick. The Giants, I think, will beat the Dodgers. That I think that goes 5. The Brewers. That was yeah. We said yeah. Brewers will beat the Braves in 5, and they got the Giants beating the Brewers in 6. And then, of course, the Giants be in the World Series against the Rays, who I have them beating the Red Sox in 4. I think the Astros will beat the White Sox in 4. And I think the Rays will beat the Astros in. God, the Astros are good too, though. I'm going to go 7. I'm going to go 7 for that one. And then the World Series. Oh,
I got Giants in 7.
yeah. Yeah, I was going to pick the Giants too. Yeah, I'm pretty much with you there. Giants in 6, actually. I'll say Giants in 6.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, all right. So there we go, man. So we both got the Giants winning this World Series, carrying on that momentum from their regular season.
Taylor Swift must put
And
out an album.
huh?
I said Taylor Swift must be putting out an album.
Yeah, it should be coming up on that time. And anytime the Giants are in there, yeah, there comes the Taylor Swift album. Yeah. So Patrick, all right, man. So we got a few minutes here. Let's get into this Urban Meyer thing. So we have a few clips, a few video clips that came out that showed Urban Meyer being a little friendly, we'll say, with a young woman at his restaurant.
Very
And
PG-13 of you.
yes, that version of it. Well, at least starting off, we'll see where it goes. But but in his bar or restaurant in Columbus, Ohio. So look, here's the deal, Patrick. And I mean, you've seen a good amount of it as it is. We know the Jacksonville Jaguars were in Cincinnati for the Thursday night football game last week. We know Columbus is right up the road. A lot of people are upset, talking about, oh, Urban Meyer should have flew home with this team. Blah. Look, we don't know what those conversations were. This could have been one of those things that was already set up for him to go to Columbus. He could have already had this conversation with the owner and the GM and his team saying, hey, this is home for me. I'm going to go. It's a mini bye week, basically. They don't play for another 10 days. So it could have been easily possible for him to say, hey, you know what, man? Hey, can I just take a little bit of time, go into Columbus, chill for a few days, then I'll be back Sunday, start getting ready for the Titans, take a couple of days off. It could have easily been the conversation, but everyone's like, oh, he should have flew home with the team. Man, whatever. That's not a problem to me. That I have no issues with that at all. But here he is in this bar. Obviously, he's not watching grandkids.
No,
So
his wife is at home watching the grandkids.
yeah. So look, here's the thing, Patrick. And I won't spend too much time on it because I mean I think it's just going to be pretty clear what I'm going to say. We don't know how the marriage works with them. It used to be tradition. Hey, married, deaf to his dog, deaf to his part, and a lot of couples still have those foundational morals. Some couples do not. That is the reality of it.
Mhm.
And if he was there, kind of being friendly with this woman, then that's a conversation they're going to have. If his wife Shelly is upset about this, then I guess Urban's home life will be hell because she's going to be like, "What the hell?" But we don't know how that is. The main thing with Urban Meyer is he's going to have to come in here to his team now and he got to be that leader because right now the trust is gone probably from the team.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of people there on that staff because the things Urban Meyer could do in college, he cannot do in the NFL. It's not enough just to be Urban Meyer, the mythical figure that he was in some of these colleges that he coached at. He's in the NFL now, man. Everybody is out here making a lot of money, and a lot of these players are making more money than you are as the head coach. So if you're going to come in and be this figure, people should look up to, you got to act accordingly. And regardless of how we feel about the relationship stuff, Patrick, he's the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's got to be smarter than that. He cannot be out there in the public eye in a bar in Columbus.
Knuckle deep.
Right. so I mean that's where I'm at on it. But him, people calling for him to be fired, no, that's no. I don't think he should be fired for that. That's no. I don't agree with that at all. And that's where I'm at with it.
Okay. Plain and simple. Everybody's asking for his job. No, he hasn't done enough. He has, that to me was not enough to be. That to me was not enough to be fired. You know, it just wasn't. I mean, yeah, he probably got some stinky on his fingers, but that's about it. You know what I mean? And like you said, we don't know what his married life is. A lot of people are into they may be swingers. You don't know.
Open marriages.
And he may have an open marriage. I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. He knows. His wife knows. Um, but you said we don't know if it was planned. Okay, so we don't know it was planned. We don't know if he was planning on going up there or if it was just because he blew a 14-point lead and he needed to get some aggression out. I don't know. Fact of the matter is this. Whatever Urban Meyer does, like you said, whatever is happening in college, you get away with a lot more of it in college than you do in the NFL. People are the problem is that you have more people watching you than you did in the NFL or in college. College, we're wanting to watch what our new upcoming NFL players are about. How are they going to affect the team that they may be drafted to? We're watching the players, right? Plus, the players do so much stupid crap that it takes so much limelight off of the head coaches anyway. So Urban Meyer is not going to get away with what he got away with in college, like he is. He's just not getting away with it in the NFL. So, with all that being said, with us not knowing what his plans were because of the loss, we don't know what his marriage is. To me, no, it's not enough to be fired. Whatever happens at home happens at home. If Shelly is ready to divorce him, then he went from making $8 million a year to $4 million a year, plain and simple. That's it. Do I fire him? No, I don't fire him. It's not, that's his life. He does what he needs to do on the field. Now we need to start talking about how you're going to gain this trust back with the players. How are you going to be the leader that I hired you or they hired him to be? How is he going to do that? And how is that going to start translating into wins? Because if you're not winning, that's when I look at putting you on the hot seat and firing you. But all of this stuff, we don't know what his home life is. Honestly, I don't care. It's not my life. I don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? So to me, what Urban Meyer needs to do, like you said, is he's already done his apologies. He's probably washed his hands. Hopefully. So he's going to have that conversation with his wife and move on. And look, let's be honest. You've said this many times. The most forgiving country in all of the world is the United States of America. Just give us an apology and start making good on your word. Other than that, Urban, you already gave your apology. It seemed to me like it was a very sincere apology. He does regret doing what he did. At the same time, he is human, and it happens. Things happen. And he needs to make sure that he goes in, gets control of that locker room, shows that he is willing to do his penance, and move on with life.
Yeah. The owner, Shad Khan, he made a statement that said, hey, look, what he did, it was, he said it was irresponsible. Now, he's going to have to work to earn the respect back of everybody in there. I think he said everything that needed to be said there. Mm-hmm. So that tells me, go ahead.
Oh, and shout out to the owner, man, for just looking at the situation as a whole and not following what everybody is calling for his head, saying, "No, this is my organization. This is how I run my business." Shout out to the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars for having a pair of balls to do what he feels is right for his organization.
Yeah, not listening to this public outcry
Yeah.
and the whole thing with yeah, he needs to be fired. Man, stop. All right, can we get over yourselves, man? And the people. To me, another thing, Patrick, and then we'll get on out on this note. The people who want to sit there and call for someone's job when this stuff like that, the question I always ask is really how are you living? Because people are quick to try to call out people on stuff that they're doing. But if somebody wanted to dig into your closet, what else in there?
What skeletons are you
Yeah,
hiding?
what else in there? Like you're doing everything right. Like let's again, not like I'm not trying to pass any judgment on anybody's personal life, but
I got
it
skeletons.
yeah right yeah we all do. We all have some sort of skeletons, but if you're gonna be so quick to try to call out someone's moral compass, that's the question you have to ask yourself. Yeah, are you doing everything right? Because if you're not, then you might not want to put that opinion out there like that. Because guaranteed, you got some Twitter dude, you got some Facebook dude who's gonna remember all this. And if
Mhm.
some stuff comes out on you, guaranteed that's gonna be on the screenshot. Hey, remember this freezing cold take when old boy was saying
And now you're doing it with your mom.
you're right. What is that?
What is that?
Wow. Well, Patrick, let's get on out, man. That will conclude this edition of the Breath of Fresh Air webcast. Y'all make sure y'all visit the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and I don't know, my fingers in there. Wasn't it there? Okay, cool. And then keep the likes coming on the Breath of Fresh Air Facebook page. Everybody, everybody, as we go into this week and this weekend, enjoy the games. Baseball playoffs are going on right now with the Yankees and Red Sox. So enjoy that game. Enjoy the Cardinals and Dodgers on Wednesday. And then when the divisional series start on Thursday, enjoy those. Football games coming up this weekend. Everybody enjoy those. And just in general, just be safe, have fun, take care of yourselves. And we will see you next week. Take care.